Okay, I'm just going to talk through C1 because it's an extension of D5, because you're thinking about the principles that underpin the work with children. So whichever principles that you have chosen for D5, you're going to use in C1, okay? But you are analysing them, okay? So you need to analyse how the main principles that underpin work with children can support the practitioner's practice in the setting. If you want to tie D5 and C1 together, then please do, okay? So for D5, it's asking you, I'll just remind myself to summarise, okay? So you're briefly summarising what they're about. For C1, it's asking you to analyse. Now, if you're analysing something, you're looking at the pros and the cons. You're looking at it from different viewpoints, okay? So if you're analysing the main principles, and if we take one of the main principles as being respect, okay, one of the key principles that underpins everything that we do, okay, and supports practitioners' practice, then to analyse it, we need to be thinking about what's good about respecting people, okay, why should we do it? What are the drawbacks? Now, when I talked in D5, I was saying that it isn't always easy to respect everybody, because if you fundamentally do not agree with what that person is saying, or that person has said something that's very hurtful, or for whatever reason you don't feel like you can respect them at that time, okay, what can you do about it as a practitioner? It's very difficult. You need to be able to be professional, and just take it on the chin and just think, okay, I'm not going to react to that. I'm going to show you respect because this is how we should treat each other. Whatever you've done to me or said to me, I'm going to ignore that because, or not ignore it, I'll deal with it, but I'm going to deal with it in a respectful way. Because if you start being disrespectful because somebody's disrespectful to you, it can spiral, can't it? It can become a real issue. Okay, so if we're analysing, we start to pull apart the idea of respect and how we can make sure that we are respecting one another regardless of what responses we're getting. Okay, so if we take another example of a principle. Another of the principles that I talked about in D5 was working with parents as partners, yeah, a partnership with parents, okay? If we're analysing that, we need to be thinking about how do we make sure that we respect all parents, and how do we make sure that those parents feel comfortable to come to us and talk to us about their child or about anything that might be disrupting their home life or whatever it is, so that you can help. All the time it is towards helping the child to feel comfortable within the setting and know that they are supported and loved. Okay? So you're analysing that principle of working in partnership with parents. It benefits the practitioners because, it benefits the parents because, and it benefits the child because. Okay, so for each of the points that you pick out in D5, think about it like that. It benefits the practitioners because, it benefits the parents because, and it benefits the child because. Okay, not all of them will necessarily link with parents, but it could do. I mean, you could bring parents into everything, near enough. Okay, any of the main principles that underpin your work with children. Okay, that's a very brief overview, and we will look at C1 in more detail, but that's just if you wanted to get started on it, because it links with D5, it makes sense that I just go through that now. Right.